Namaste students. I am JVN Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the chapter cell disruption. What is the need of the cell disruption and how the cell disruption is conducted. Cell disruption is a method. We need to isolate the intracellular products. So for the isolation of the intracellular products, there is a requirement of cellular debris isolation. If we do not, we require the extracellular material, then there is not any kind of need. There are two types of product, intracellular and extracellular. So if we need extracellular products, then we do not need any kind of cell debris and cellular compartments, cellular products. But if we want the intracellular products such as the intracellular enzymes, intracellular proteins, then we need to disrupt the cell. Okay, so this is the requirement of the cell disruption. So cell disruption is an essentially part of the biotechnology, and it is an essentially part of the downstream processing, which is related to the manufacturing of biological products. It is necessary for the accept and retrieval of the desired products. As cell disruption significantly enhances the recovery of the biological products, it affects the physical properties of the cell slurry. Thus, indirectly, it influences further downstream processes. There are several types of cell disruption methods exist, such as biological products, such as extracellular, intracellular, and the periplasmic products. So, what are the methods of the cell disruption? If we talk about the cell disruption methods, then the cell disruption methods can be categorized into the mechanical method and non-mechanical methods. Different cells have different structure, hence they require different methods for the cell disruption. The mechanical methods require physical and mechanical methods, and the non-mechanical some mechanical methods and some non-mechanical methods are also there, such as the physical, chemical, and the biological. The chemical methods include the high pressure homogenizer and the bead mill separation. The physical method of cell disruption include the heating, osmotic shock, and some another methods can also be added. In the chemical methods, we used alkali and the detergent for the cell disruption. And for the biological disruption is conducted by the enzymatic cell disruption method. So it's mechanical and non-mechanical type of cell disruption exist, which we are going to discuss in the next video lectures. So what are the ideal technology of the characterization? The cell disruption must have maximum release of the product of interest. The technique which we select must release maximum of the product of interest, and no mechanical or thermal denaturation of the product should be conducted. There must be minimal release of the proteases which may degrade the product. Okay, proteases must not be released. What we select, which method we select, this method may not result in the release of the protease, because protease will disrupt the cellular compartments. There must be minimal release of particulates or soluble contaminants that may influence the downstream processing. So these are the ideal characterization methods by which we can select the methods which are selected, which methods should be uh, preferred for the cell deposition. So susceptibility of the cells to disruption should be taken in mind. The things which must be taken in mind should be discussed here. So first is susceptibility of the cells to disruption. Okay, the cells must not be susceptible. If we are using the mechanical cell disruption method, so we can use this, but it is not applied to all type of cells. Okay, it is not applied to all type of products. And similarly, if we talk about the enzymatic cell disruption, so it is not applied for all type of cells and all type of products. Similarly, the product must be stable. Whatever method we select, the product must be stable. The technique which we select must have ease of extraction from the cell debris, that the product we want to isolate should be easily accepted. It must not have any further processing. Okay, it must be not contain some another cell debris. Okay, similarly, one more thing, the process must be fast. The speed of method should be good. Okay, it is necessary that we isolate our product in small time. But if the process is very longer, then we can skip the pathway and we can select another method which is the best, which is the less time consuming. So time consuming is very important. Similarly, the most important thing is the cost of the method. Okay, if we take any method which is very costly, such as if we are taking the enzymatic cell disruption. Okay, in enzymatic cell disruption, if the cost is very high and it needs some more method also, not only one enzyme, two, it may be possible that there is a requirement of one enzyme, two enzymes, three enzymes, four enzymes. So if there is any possibility that the process need more steps and in more enzymes, and the product will be costly after isolation, then it must be skipped. We must select the uh, cost free, cost low cost method for the isolation of the cell materials. And before cell disruption can take place, the cells must be separated from the cell culture. For the cell disruption, first we need to isolate the cells. Okay, first we need to isolate the cells. So for cell disruption method, we must go for the methods which are used for the isolation of the cells, such as the methods of the centrifugation, such as the method of the filtration, flocculation. So these methods can be used for the isolation of the cell. Okay, some secreted extracellular components need to be decreased and they must be discarded or they must be separated. And similarly, some unutilized media components also need to be removed or they must be reduced because increase it will increase the process quality. It will increase the processing, so they must be removed. Similarly, the drying of cell mass will also enhance cell disruption. So it must be necessary that we take care that the cell mass should not dry. Okay, it must have enough moisture. Okay, If it will dry, then the cells may be disrupted before cell disruption method, and it will also increase the cost. In some cases, more than one disruption method may be necessary to achieve full product. Okay. If one method is not enough, then we have to go for some another method for the cell destruction methods. So these all are about the different types of cell disruption methods. So I hope that students will be better understand about the different types of cell disruption uh, criteria, and what are the basic need for the cell disruption, what should be considered before going to the cell disruption methods. And in the next video, I'm going to describe of the different methods of the cell disruption, such as mechanical, physical, chemical, and biological. So my lecture is now over here. You can ask me any question. Thank you very much.